There we go. That's not too bad. I don't know why it seems like so high up for some reason. There we go. I have no idea. It feels weird. Hello. Happy Wednesday, guys. Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. What's going on? Sorry, my nose is running. I just ate some really like hot soup and it's just making my nose run now. Back it up here. Auntie Ann is in the house. Hello, Alex. Hello, Greg. Randy Johnson. Hello. Hope Frankie's feeling better. She is. She actually she's been fever free since Monday. And she was feeling better yesterday. She came out, did some laundry, like just was like, I'm tired of being in my room. I feel better. Wanted to go to school today, went to school today, came home and went straight to her room and passed out. So I think that she was ready, but I think maybe her body wasn't quite fully rested yet. So hey, Ryan Kelly, doing well. Thank you. Shiloh Acres, hello. Hello, Larry. I'm early. I made it. Yes, you did. Frankie actually went in there to take a nap, so I think we might hold off on the mail call from you because she's not awake to open it. I thought she was going to be able to make it, but I think that she still passed out last I checked. So it's been awfully quiet in her room, which is not the normal at all. Pettit Jean River Homestead, hello. What's going on? David Glunt is in the house. Hello. Back to good. Hello. This is the first time I beat Sid to chat. Well, I was over in Mama V's and then I kind of zoned out at the end and I was like, oh, she's logging off. Like I need to turn my light on and like turn my live stream on. So there's that. Lonely Hitchhiker Kent, hello. There's a first time for everything, right? Gotta be. Telling ya. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate that. Hello, D. Hello. Yeah, so country to coast. Hello, what's going on? Our flipping homestead. What's up, Dom? What's up? What's up? Um, yeah, man, just plugging away. I was editing today. I still need to finish editing. I'm still working on Friday's video. Yeah, I would say I'm like a little more than halfway done on that. So I have some more to do. So I'll probably finish that. If not, I probably won't finish it tonight. I'll probably finish it. I'll probably get up real early tomorrow morning and get it almost finished and then get Frankie off to school if she's up to it. And then do my chores and get back up there and finish it. And then I have some errands to run tomorrow. I gotta take my truck in and do a couple things and all that fun stuff. So I'll be kind of running around in the afternoon a bit in town. But then Friday, I have big news for Friday. I'll tell you guys in a minute. But I'm excited about Friday. Very excited about Friday. And I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Very excited. Melody says she was number 7. Lucky number 7. I love it. Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. What's going on? What's going on? I love it. I love it. I'm telling you. I know, Larry. I'm sorry. She's just still like she did not leave her room. I picked her up Saturday from D Now. For those of you who don't know, Frankie, our daughter, had discipleship now this weekend, and she had asked if she could spend the night at her friend's on Thursday night and then go to school with her. And then after school, she was going to go straight to church. Well, there was a little downtime in between, but then she was going to be at church for the beginning of D Now. And she's supposed to stay at her host family Friday night, Saturday night, and then they come back to church on Sunday afternoon and we pick them up. And well, I guess technically Saturday morning at like 3 a.m, Frankie texted me that she didn't feel well, but like no other information. And so I wake up with the text and I text her back immediately. And I was like, hey, what do you mean you don't feel good? Like, what are your symptoms? I'm thinking, did she eat something? She woke up with like stomach cramp or something. And she didn't text me back for like a few more hours as she didn't see it or she fell right back asleep. And she's like, I have fever. I have chills. I feel like I have the flu. And I'm like, lovely. So I said, okay. So I went and picked her up about like 8 o'clock in the morning. So I made sure the rest of the house was kind of awake so I could get her. And we went straight to the urgent care and they did a test and she had flu A, and got her some Zofluza or whatever it's called. And her fever broke. She had almost 104 fever. Her fever broke a couple hours after taking that and being at home. She sweated it all out. And then her fever was kind of up and down between there and like, I think the highest it went again was like 102 one time. But then it stayed in like 98, 99 for a while. And then it's been gone now since Monday afternoon. Because I was taking her temperature like constantly. So, so anyway, she went back to school today because she's been fever free since Monday afternoon. So she went back to school today. She had no fever at all yesterday and she was feeling better. But I think it wiped her because she went straight in and went to bed. So poor baby. But she's doing all right. Pettigene River Homestead says it's going to be 74 there on Sunday. I'm telling you, we're going to get a little warm front that's supposed to come through and a more severe cold front up top. And they said that it could make Tornado Alley very tornado-y like next week, which is not exciting, but we'll see. Um, didn't you already say what you were doing in the last video? I did on Sippin' and Spillin'. I did on Sippin' and Spillin', David. You're right. I did. I did tell you guys what I was doing. Um, so those of you that watch Sippin' and Spillin' today, don't spill the beans yet, because I know probably not everybody watched it. So what's up, David? Come on, homesteading's in the house. That's getting sick sucks. Yes, it does. And I'm trying, we kept her quarantined. I was the only one that went in there, kept her away from Mike, because everybody knows there's nothing worse than a sick husband. I think everybody knows that. So and also I don't like he's got to be at work. He's got, so I'm like, I can't have him sick. So I went in there and did the mom thing and just washed my hands like crazy and tried to keep my distance from her as best I could. Um, so hopefully I'll know in like the next 2 days if I was successful with that or if I start getting sick. We'll see. But hopefully I'm good. Hopefully I'm good. But yeah, it's no bueno. And it sucks when your kid is sick. Like even she was loopy from the fever. Like she told me, she's like, Mom, I feel like I'm high. And she was like this, and her eyes were all glassy and her cheeks were bright red. And I was like, you have a high fever. This was while we were at urgent care before they even took her temperature. I was like, you have a very high fever. I can tell by looking at you. You're like, and she hasn't had a fever that high since she was little. She used to get real bad sinus infections when she was younger. We had to take her to an ENT and all that stuff. And she hasn't been sick with like a flu like this since she was that like 5 probably. And she's had colds here and there or whatever, but she's never been down for the count like this since she was teeny tiny. So it's crazy. David says, hey, everyone, can't tag. He's on his phone. There's a bunch of different nasty bugs going around up here as well. Yeah, I saw a map where it's just like basically big chunks of the South have the flu just going around like crazy right now. So I'm telling you, it's no bueno. Just one after the other. I know, and it's funny. I've seen a lot of people that like just in our town that they've just been sick like on repeat. And I have not been sick, knock on wood. None of the 3 of us have been sick. Um, but Frankie's got a really good immune system. And I feel like Mike doesn't get sick very often either. So I think, and neither do I. So I feel like Mike and I gave her really good immune systems because he and I both don't get ill very often. And when we do, usually it's not very bad. But then every, decade or so, one of us will get like a really bad stomach bug or a really bad flu or something. And we're down for a couple of days and then we're fine, you know. So you just never know. Hello, Sheila. What's going on? What's happening? I know they're David's probably, are you stressed yet, David? Trying to get everything ready for Tim's big retirement party? I'm telling you. He's busy getting ready for it, I'm sure. I feel bad we won't be able to be there, but, you know, that's what happens when we're that far away. We don't get to go visit you guys as often. Garlic and spicy food keeps you healthy. That's true, and I eat a lot of garlic and a lot of spicy food. And over the years, I've made Mike eat more spicy food, which is probably why and I will say this, I will say, he used to get sick a lot more when he and I were first dating. That's true. He used to get sick a lot more. Well, he also used to drink, like, he lived off of Coca-Cola. Like, he would drink a 12 pack of Coca-Cola, like, every day and a half. That was, like, his life's blood, that and coffee, with a gallon of sugar in his coffee he used to drink. So I weaned him off of that over our first couple years together. And then he used to not be able to eat anything spicy. And over the years, he's gotten better. Now he can eat, like, sometimes now he surprises me. Like, I forget what he ate the other day that I was like, "You could eat that? Like, that wasn't too spicy for you?" And he was like, "It's right at the edge," but he's like, I'm good. I can eat it." And I'm like, "Okay." So he's definitely upped his ante on that, you know. Telling you. Just got done with COVID, flu, a strep altogether. Not fun at all. Oh my goodness, Sheila, that sounds awful. No bueno. Well, I did make a soup tonight. We had one of our turkeys that we had processed out, a couple of them that we had processed out, Mike parted them out and we pressure canned the meat. And then I made stock out of the carcasses and he pressure canned the stock and the meat. And then I still had some stock that was in the fridge. So tonight I used, it's basically, basically bone broth. And I made a soup with like veggies. And there was one of the um, pressure can jars of meat. Every once in a while you get a jar that doesn't seal right, right? So we stuck it in the fridge, and so I put that in the soup too. So it had some turkey meat in it. So that's pretty good, healthy stuff, you know. Oh, I will never do that, B patent. I will never go back to face masks and hand sanitizer. First of all, I am not a big believer in the hand sanitizer. There is such a thing as too much of something. But you're increasing the resistance of different strains of things when you're using that too much. So I hate seeing it too much, but and I will never do face masks again because you can't really convince me that they work under the conditions that we were using them. Nope, I'm a veteran at throwing parties. Come on, that's right, David. That's right. At least it won't be like so hot outside while you're manning the grill or whatever, right? You'll be bundled up. The last few weeks, all I do is step outside into the cold and start sneezing. Oh, no. Oh, Melody's asking if Tim's gonna retire in Arkansas. I don't think so, but he does go there and visit a lot. I mean, he's got his land in Tennessee that he's currently building his house on. So I don't think that he's just gonna up and move to Arkansas, but, now that he's retired, there's nothing stopping him from driving to see David and hang out in Arkansas a lot. Well, and the rest of the family that's up there, but, you know, I'm sure, I mean, he pops over there all the time now. To be honest, his job never really stopped him. He still popped over there a lot. So I'm sure he'll still be there a lot. I don't understand having a party for Tim stop working when he already doesn't work. I know, right? Where's the sense in that? I know. That's why I'm like, we can celebrate later. He's already not been working for so long. He went back for like a week and then gave his notice. No, I'm just kidding. He was back a little longer than that. We just like to give Tim, he's worked long and hard over the years. He deserves to retire, but we still get to give him crap for it. No work life. Our flippin' homestead, we never did masks to begin with. See, I was in California during the pandemic, and so you couldn't go to the grocery store, they wouldn't let you inside. You couldn't go inside anywhere. There was one grocery store that, everybody the first 2 weeks was or well, I guess the first 2 weeks nobody was wearing masks really. I'm trying to remember now. Whenever they started really implementing that, um, there was another grocery store that we had that I frequented a lot that was like a health food store, and they, after that initial couple weeks when everybody was like, "This is a bunch of BS," they didn't enforce it. The employees didn't wear them, and so that kinda became the place that everybody wanted to go shop at because people were like, "This is stupid." like, you know, but yeah, unfortunately, like in California, you didn't have much of a choice because you couldn't they wouldn't let you in places. So it's kind of annoying. And then some places I had gotten one of those clear masks that I wore because Mike is practically deaf, right? Like he really can't hear. And when on the rare occasion during all of the beginning of that, when he would come with me, he was like, I didn't realize how much I relied on reading people's lips. Um, I can't hear anything. Like he's like, so I would have to like listen to the cashier and then translate for him or like whatever because he couldn't hear him, and I had just as hard a time. I couldn't hear sometimes either because people don't enunciate and then you're muffling them on top of it. I was like, this is stupid. Like, and also it messes with your field of vision. So I felt very like I didn't like it. Yeah, not a fan. D. Stanley says, I was very sorry to hear the sad news on the loss of your brother to Paul Honeyman. Yes, very sad. Come on, is just looking for an excuse to throw a party. Is that what I just saw? That could be. That's right, Billy. That's right. Glenda Shannon, Salty Life. I wore a flimsy neck gaiter that only kept my neck warm on cold days. Actually wore it quite a bit less this week. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I have one that I wear that's got like fur on one side, and I haven't had to wear it this week so far. Last week I had to wear it and gloves. Today I didn't even put on my overcoat. I have on a sweatshirt and went out and did the animals. I probably could have used the overcoat for at least the first half of my feeding, but at that point I was already out there. So I just I was like, whatever. Only a couple places that we oh, is it okay, so Charlotte okay, says that we never did either, Dawn. Only a couple of places, and that was just because I didn't think we'd be able to hide your face. Your eyes will probably still give it away, though. Yeah, that's true. My husband's the same. He couldn't hear anything when people were wearing a mask. Yeah, it was pretty awful. And then, you'd always see the people driving by themselves with their mask on or just walking outside in the, like, fresh air. I think more people ended up getting, like, sinus infections and respiratory infections from wearing these dirty masks constantly and breathing in their own air all the time. Whatever. Always looking for an excuse to grill good groceries. That's right. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, so Friday, I'll go ahead and tell you guys now. I guess I have like, well, some of you, if you saw it on Sit and Spill, then you already know, but I'll tell you guys. So we've talked before about in our videos and stuff that eventually we're starting sheep. That was one of the reasons why we were finishing that next section of pasture. We wanted to move the goats, but we also wanted like another area for sheep. We're going to be rotationally grazing them in the big pasture once we get the flock situated. We will be doing that, but everything has to go in steps and stages, right? So we actually, Mike found a ram. He's a little registered Katahdin ram, which is a hair breed of sheep, which means you don't have to shear them, they shed. And it kind of just comes out in clumps, sort of like, I guess, kind of the way your other animals do in a way. Like, your horse loses its winter coat and they just kind of comes off in chunks. That's my favorite thing to do, by the way. I love picking off her coat. Um, but, and the goats get it a little bit too, not as much, but they do. Anyway, so it's kind of like that, only with it's like wool, but it's hair, right? Anyway, so it just kind of comes off in these chunks, right? So um, they're more parasite resistant. There's a lot of reasons they have like a higher yield of meat and all like anyway, they're a good breed for what we want to do. So excited to get them started. So he found one from a farm in Alabama. It's about 3.5 hours away. And before anybody goes, why don't you don't have sheep in Mississippi? You can't get one here. Trust me, I have been looking We found one place that's not too far from us at all, but only from driving by. And so we are trying to pinpoint exactly where they are so that we can like door knock or track them down and send a letter or something. Um, so we're working on that. Um, and then I found another one that is in Mississippi. I can't remember exactly where, but they won't have any lambs ready for like 12 to 16 weeks because they're just starting lambing season now. So kind of have to wait a little bit on that. And if I can't find anything in the meantime, then I may very well end up going with them for at least a few, depending on, I also don't know how many they're going to have that are going to be ewes, right? Like I only want the one ram for now, until if our flock gets to the point where we're like, oh, we need 2 rams, but for now, just the one. So gonna drive out. Beth's gonna go with me. We're gonna drive out to this town in Alabama.
Híjole! This town in Alabama.
But I don't know. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Adwalla, something. I don't know. Anyway, starts with
something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna go pick him up from a lovely gal named Sarah. I already asked her if I could film going over there, and she said yes. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna need, turns out I don't need to bring a horse trailer because I was like, I forgot I had bought, and I forget why I bought it. I needed it for something at the time. I don't remember what.
The big crate?
Mm-hmm.
What did you get?
I don't know, but I bought it for something very specific. I have no idea. I cannot remember. But anyway, it might have, you know what? I remember why. I bought it to take the dogs to the vet in, the big dogs, the outside dogs. But that was a whole nother struggle. And then I forgot that I had it the last 2 times I took them to the vet. So there's that. Because it got put in a weird spot, and it became one of those things that you walk by it every day.
It became a table.
See it. Yeah, there was stuff that Mike had put on it, so I wasn't seeing it.
Not only Mike, Frankie.
I didn't put anything on there. I did find the scissors. No, I didn't.
Yeah, there have been multiple times that when you were going to use the side by side, on occasion, you took stuff out of the side by side.
Oh, maybe.
And put it on there.
Well, maybe, but I didn't realize
we were all guilty.
Covered. I didn't know
we were all guilty.
Anyway, I went up into the rafters of the shop today looking for it because it wasn't in the garage, wasn't any of the other place. Anyway, I walked by it like 12 times before I realized.
What am I in the doghouse about, Paul? What did I miss?
I don't know.
Paul says I'm in the doghouse.
Oh, Mike's in the doghouse, folks. It's taking her. Oh, because I don't have my rings on tonight. Because I'm home. I didn't go anywhere today, and I was cooking. He's wearing his. I always have my ring on. It's tattooed. I just didn't wear my jewelry today.
So did mine.
Yeah. Power twins unite.
I did.
Yeah. I did means I don't do that anymore. Was that groan? He doesn't like it when I make potential dirty jokes. Anyway, so where was I? Okay, so I'm gonna go pick him up on Friday. Beth and I are going to drive out there. I remembered I have this big crate. I double checked with her to make sure that, how sometimes, well, maybe you don't know. Sometimes as animals grow, lambs or goats, they can be like really lanky and tall and like not be filled out yet. And I was like, how tall is he? Because I want to, if I don't have to bring a horse trailer and drive a horse trailer 3.5 hours away and 3.5 hours back, then I'm not gonna. So, because I have to borrow my friends, and it's a whole, they don't care I borrow it, but still.
What's up, big country?
So.
It's not Etowah. It's something else.
It's like that. It's like Atawala.
Yeah,
something like
that. Starts
with
an A. It's got 2 T's in it, I believe.
And there's L's in there, and another A.
It's near Grayson, or it's a little tiny.
Teeny tiny town.
Town near another small town, and it's 3 hours and 24 minutes from here.
So anyway. She verified that that should work fine. That's plenty big enough for him. Like he'll be fine in there. So I'm like, cool. So then I was like, since he's our only ram, I was like, I'm not going to name the ewes. And I mentioned that in Sippin' and Spillin'. There's going to be too many of them. They're going to have their tags. I'll be able to keep track of them. I'm not going to name them.
That's right. That's right, David. Come on. It's over yonder.
It's over yonder. That's right. It is. It's just across the state lines and a skip. But anyway, Katahdin means greatest mountain. So since I'm going to name the ram, I decided I'm going to name him Sinai, like as in Mount Sinai, like get the tablets, Mr. Moses. And I'm going to probably call him Si most of the time. So little Si will be coming home on Friday.
And my only thing about this was, that's fine. I know how much she likes to name her animals. She loves to name her animals.
I do.
Which, whatever, it makes
That's
her
because
happy. Like, I don't need to.
I only got one kid and I only got to use one name.
Okay.
Well, I
So
did.
you would
I
have
crammed 3 names.
You would have named a kid Sinai?
Well, no. That'd be weird.
Okay. How about Neil Diamond?
That might have happened. I might have done that.
Anyway, my only thing about it is we have to agree going in, and we did. He is livestock, even though he gets a name. He's livestock, and there are scenarios. There are potential scenarios where he doesn't work out. He doesn't perform. He's sickly. He gets whatever, and then he has to go because we can't treat him.
Yeah, like if he can't do the deed for whatever, I'm like he comes from very good lines. His mom has thrown multiple sets of twins.
He's
like,
registered.
He's registered. He should be golden, but that doesn't guarantee
that
he's gonna be
and he falls into the category of livestock.
So
and then with the ewes,
if they have stillborns, if they are crap moms, because they're gonna be totally in the pasture.
If they're throwing singles and they're not having twins, they're gone.
Well, you can't always guarantee twins, but because
for Cattahans, they need to have twins.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes they have quadruplets.
Well, sometimes the first go round.
They'll probably have singles.
Yeah.
Their first time.
That's why I was saying, like, they're not going to guarantee it right out the gate. Don't start killing all the ewes.
Right. Or if you got one ewe that just every year she gets sick and she struggles, and like we're not going to be feeding them grain to get them through the cold and putting them in barns.
Like the idea is to breed your flock so that they're healthy, strong, and can be independent. Basically, they're pasture raised and pasture moved, rotational grazing. They'll be as healthy as they can be on fresh grass, not just in their same poop every day. Like
right.
So, and these are more parasite resistant breed, but you still have to keep them away from.
You still got to keep them away from. That's right. You got to keep them away.
You still got to move them.
And that's why I want them to lamb in the barn. I mean, I want them to lamb in the field. I don't want them. Barns are where these type of animals go to get sick, in my opinion. So we really want. We want what we want.
Yeah. We want what we want.
Yeah.
Oh, I've named my food many times. All the pigs that we raised. Here's my thing. I know people say that don't name your food, don't name your whatever. Here's my thing. I know going into it, like we've raised how many pigs? A lot.
Oh yeah.
I named every single pig. But I knew this was not a piglet that we were keeping for the next 5 years. This was a pig that we were going to keep for the next 6 months.
Right.
And
5 to 7 months.
But I gave those animals the best 6 months and loved on them and whatever. And
I played soccer with pigs. And and knowing all along that they were food.
They were food.
Like we were going to be processing this animal for food, but that doesn't mean we didn't want them to have a good life while we were their steward, Yeah.
So to me, I like to give them names when I only have a few like that, or when I have one that stands out, because then I can be like, okay, well, I'm giving you that little bit of extra attention. Now, when you have, one ram and, 5 to 10 ewes, I'm not gonna be able to tell them apart by looking at them. I'm gonna have to look at their tag.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, my goal, and I don't know how realistic this is. Honestly, I don't even know if I should say it out loud, but I'm going to, just because I could be wrong. I don't know. Right.
Call the ewes lamb chops.
But my goal, I think, is to have like 100 breeding ewes within 3 years. That's the flock that I'm after. And I don't know, again, I don't know how realistic that is. But that's what I want to do. And at that point, it pencils out to a profitable business.
It's just, just like with anything, it takes time to get it set up and started, accumulate the stock,
make mistakes.
Yeah. So that's why we're starting smaller too, so that we're not just going out to the auction house and buying the first 100 ewes and one,
right.
we're like carefully
we got some things to work out.
yeah, we want to start small. We want to build it slowly. Because that's one of the things that we've always preached to when it comes to like talking when people are like, oh, how should we start? Like, what should you? I'm gonna start small.
Start
Start small,
as
and then
large as you can safely and efficiently and effectively start, right?
yeah,
And for me, I feel like, 5 to 8 ewes is wow, that's like
yeah,
wrap my brain around that. But after the first season, I'm gonna say let's add 20, you know. And after the second season, I'm probably gonna be ready to like get the herd up there, you know. And honestly, you know, when you're trying to grow a herd like that, you're selling a lot less lambs. You're only selling the little boys. Because the girls look if you have a healthy ewe and
soccer with
she's
pigs
she's
explain.
she's performing, she's doing everything right, she's thriving on the pasture that you're providing, and she lambs well in the field, she throws twins. Why wouldn't you keep her girls for breeding stock? Of course you would, until you get the herd up to the size you want it. Now, if she's not doing well, I don't want her offspring.
Right.
They're going to the stock barn.
Alex, I don't think that makes us vicious with these animals. Like, honestly, if unless you are 100% vegan and wear not even plastic shoes, you'd have to wear like fallen leaves, shoes made out of fallen leaves to not have any animal petroleum products or anything in it. But part of the food that gets onto your table eventually is raised at farms. Some are small family farms, some are big industrial farms. It just depends. But if the goal is to be a good steward of that animal, raise it well, show it kindness, be good to it, to have it eventually feed your family, then I think that's a pretty respectable goal to have. So
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. I mean, if you're eating, burger from the restaurant down the street that was from industrially raised
they are Don.
beef,
They're really good mamas. They're known
um,
for that. Yeah, which is one of the
you're being
reasons
vicious.
too.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, they are known for being really good moms. And they're really good at dropping them in the pasture and raising them and doing their thing. So it'll be exciting, you know. So
yeah, I'm excited about it in a lot of ways.
Patrick says, "Who's this strange guy beside you?"
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited, and obviously we don't have the ewes yet. Still trying to find them.
Yeah.
But he's going to
Struggle.
be with the goats obviously initially, which was always our plan to put the first couple in as we get them with the goats and the dogs.
Yeah.
The reason for this is twofold. Goats and lambs traditionally get along just fine. And the dogs are used to being with the goats and protecting them. So adding the sheep helps everybody adjust. The goats are very used to me. They follow me. They're very whatever. This will hopefully also help the lambs be like, okay, I'll help them fall in line a little bit, you know. So that's part of the situation. And then eventually Dan, my weather goat, will be in a paddock with Sai and they'll be together. So neither one will be alone. They'll be together, and then the ewes and everybody will be, on the other section of pasture. So
That's right, David. Come on, homesteading. If people only knew what the meat they're eating was raised like and processed like, they would think much differently.
100%.
And he would know, because he used to work. I don't know if that's common knowledge. He's seen
I
it
don't know.
firsthand.
I don't know what you're spilling now.
Yeah.
He's gonna tell all your tea now, David. You better buckle up.
No, I'm sitting here thinking, I don't know if he's ever really talked about that.
I don't know if he's talked about it to us, but I don't think he was on a video when he did it. He was in person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, look, if you can get your meat, first of all, if you can raise your own food, and process your own food, it feels good. It's efficient. It's good for the land. You're supposed to be a steward of the land. That's why we were put here, and of the animals. And part of being a steward of the land and the animals is getting your food from them, right? So if you can do that, great. If you can't do that for whatever reason, then the next best thing is to get your food from someone who does have that mentality.
Yeah.
You know?
David Lunt says, "Did you see my reply on the video where I said keep the dogs together and get more dogs?" I did see that. At the size of the flocks and where we have them now, we don't need more dogs. If we get to the point where we have 100 and they're split on separate pastures or something, then we might have to talk about having, having the
those
dogs over here and our dogs over
let's
there. But
let's
for
not
now, we're good. He's like, let's not add anything.
yeah let's not
Yeah.
kid around about it. Those dogs are expensive. They're expensive to buy. They are a time investment to train.
Mhm.
They they eat.
They do. They do eat.
So you got to be careful about just adding dogs to add dogs, right? Because they're working dogs. They need to have a job. You can't have one dog per 5 animals. They've
Like I said, unless eventually, and by the time we get to the point where we have 100, well, no, you said 3 years. Well, let's say conservatively, let's say it took 5 years. These dogs would be older, like
we may
towards
be
the end.
working
We may be working pups at that
pups
point.
in that are getting trained by these dogs.
Yeah.
So it's too hard to say for sure about that, but yeah, it's that's part of the maintenance for sure.
Yeah. Hope, have you had any problems with y'all's livestock? Not since, as far as predators go, I said, not since Kusi was old enough to like do his job. And I have not
Yeah.
had one single issue, one attack, one nothing.
Well, even
since
the
then.
attack that we did have, we didn't even have Kusi yet. We didn't even have a pup yet.
Well, I had lost birds in between then. When they were little, like when they were like little pups.
Lost a bird here or there.
I lost. I did lose a couple birds.
The big attack that we had, where we lost, a bunch of birds in one night, was a pack of wild dogs. I don't even think they were wild dogs, to be honest with you. I think I know what dogs they were.
Yeah, not even strays.
And we didn't have livestock guardian dogs yet.
Yeah.
So
it is what it is. But that's the problem when you move across the country and you're trying to bring some things with you. Some things aren't in place yet, and it just, unfortunately, those poor babies paid the price. But
you are so right, Shiloh. Yep. Bambi and Thumper. Oh yeah. We the Disney names for the animals. I mean, that's what I ate.
Yeah. Yep. And
gonna go get a Bambi for dinner.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I'm excited to. It's gonna be a long day on Friday because it's gonna be 3.5 hours there, and then maybe an hour at the place, and then 3.5 hours home. So and then try to get him introduced to everybody, because there will be a little bit of, just like with any animals you introduce, there'll be some pecking order happening over the next few days.
Luckily, he's young enough that he's hopefully, we're just gonna have to see. Honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've raised a few sheep that we raised just for meat. We bought them as lambs and raised them up and ate them.
Well,
but we haven't
Linda and Neville, I was going to breed them, but we moved.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of experience. I mean, I would say we have no experience with sheep. Just because we've raised a few of them doesn't really mean anything, really, to me. I mean, we're going into this brand new, and we're about to get schooled, by
He has no
by it
faith
happening.
in me.
Oh no, I totally do. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be.
I know.
We're about to drop some coin on this little registered ram.
No, they're not that different than goats in a lot of respect. Like in a lot of the way their anatomy is, some of their personalities traits can be very similar. Like there's not, but I loved having sheep, and I'm excited to have them again, and these are sheep that I won't have to shear, which is even better.
How does mutton taste?
So good.
I mean, really, mutton is after like 9-10 months, right?
Yeah, we've had mutton. It's good.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
We let one of them go that long?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't like the word mutton.
It sounds like
it sounds like
dirty meat.
It sounds low rent.
Yeah.
It sounds,
but it's really, it's not.
But whatever. The lamb that I've had
is really good. I love lamb. Like if I would eat lamb a lot more. It's just not as common. Like, if you go out, like you might see lamb.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to, you guys have probably heard me talk a little bit about our neighbor, Ross. He's a cattle guy. I mean, He works for a big cattle guy. He runs the kind of the cattle operation for his family. They have like 500 acres. He works for a guy that has probably 5,000 around here in North Mississippi, and probably another several thousand in Arkansas. And I mean, they were running thousands of cows, right? No, not just like beef cattle. So he's got, I don't know, maybe 400 to 500, 600 mama cows, cow calf pairs, and then they're doing stockers. They're bringing stalker calves up that are beef calves and raising them up to a certain point and then sending them to the next step in Arkansas. And anyway, it's a big operation. But one of the things that they do that he's excited about every year is they go around and they pick out the ones they're going to eat, pick them out at a kind of a young age, and they're like, oh, that one looks good, the muscle, blah, blah, and they pick out and they're like, we're eating that one, that one, that one, and that one, for the families. And I kind of look forward to doing that with the lambs,
Yeah.
when the lambs, reach a certain point, where where you can kind of start picking a few. It's like you're picking the primo ones for yourself
Yeah.
early.
Well, and it's funny too because our neighbors out here that are kind of like family to us, um, we were talking, when we first were bringing up, the sheep that we were going to do, they were like, was it like, I've never eaten that. Like, what's it taste? And I'm like, you've
You
never
will.
had lamb?
You
you're
will.
you're gonna
Yeah.
love it. You're gonna be asking us to bring Sunday lunch every week with lamb,
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
For
yeah,
sure.
lamb is amazing. It just costs a ton. Yeah, and honestly, I've seen it. I don't know. There's a couple different ways of looking at it. I've seen it some places where it is a little bit cheaper, but it's not any more expensive, really, in my opinion, than certain cuts of beef.
Then quality.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Quality, lean quality cuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and when we made rack of lamb shank. That was one of my favorites to do was the lamb shank. We did a lot of ground with the older ones. We did some ground too.
Yep.
We made meatballs. Um, I'm a big fan of it. So
Oh, I'll be dabbling with summer sausage,
lamb summer sausage.
oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I'll be dabbling with all kinds of stuff once we get to that point. But honestly, I mean, we're a couple of years away from that because if you think about it, we likely will not be breeding anything until like October of next year.
Right. Yeah.
So honestly, like March of 2026 is probably our first lambing.
hmm
You
Very,
know,
very likely.
and
If yeah, that's if I can get my hands on. I mean, I'll find some ewes. I just gotta track them down.
yeah,
Because we don't want to do any crossbreed. So I'm not like, oh, well, here's it. I could find a Dorper, I could find a suffix, but like that's not what we want. We want Katahdin. So I have to find some that are like from decent lines, like you know what I mean. So
oh wow, Pettigene River Homestead, stray dog got in a coop, killed a bunch. Yeah, that's a
oh
bummer. I hate
yeah,
to hear that.
it does sound like meat that's gone bad, doesn't it? Hope I know mutton, but it's not. It's and I don't really know why they classify it that way. I guess you could say it's almost like the difference between like having veal and having like regular cow steak steer,
Well, I mean,
like
look, you can
it's super
definitely
tender.
tell the quality. Yeah, you can tell the quality difference in the age of even deer. I mean, now that we're hunting and eating a lot of deer, uh, I'll take a yearling doe over a 3-year-old buck. I don't even want to shoot a 3-year-old buck. Like I don't even want him. I want
He doesn't want you either.
yearling does because the quality of the meat is so
Yeah.
much better.
Well, yeah, and I mean, but it's not like it's gross. It's not like it's like tainted
What state are
or
you in, our
you
flipping
know.
homestead? And what kind of ewes are they?
That's Dawn. It used to be Hat Creek Homestead. Now they're our flipping homestead. They're in Arkansas too.
Okay, well that's not that far.
Yeah.
You got the hookup on ewes. What breed are they? The
Katahdin.
Katahdins. Tenderness and flavor much different, without question. And it's I was talking to somebody I was talking to Ross about it actually a couple of weeks ago when we were doing some butchering of some venison, and he and I think are under agreement that a lot of people out there that think they don't like venison have only ever eaten like an 8-point buck that was killed during the rut.
Yeah.
Worst possible
Yeah.
version of that meat, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and honestly, with the lamb, with the tenderness and the flavor being much different, that really depends too. Are we talking about a ram that's 2 years old, or are you talking about a ewe that's 2 years old?
Right,
You
and
know what
was
I
it
mean?
an
Like,
intact was it
yeah, yeah.
intact
Was it weathered?
male
Like,
or was it a weather?
yeah.
You know?
So it's like it's just kind of
Yeah, it's just like boar taint, right? You know.
yeah. She says Katahdin.
Oh yeah.
That's what they raise. Oh, I didn't know you raised them too.
Oh yeah, we should definitely chat. We'll see if there's not something we can.
I might have to make a trip out there.
Yeah, be making a trip to we need to go see David anyway. Been a minute. David got a fancy new truck though. Maybe he needs to come down here. Maybe we'll contract David to bring them down here.
To haul them down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See if he's still in here.
We're just putting you to work, David. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll buy your gas. Wait, no, we won't. That's a big truck. Probably gets decent gas mileage though.
It runs on unicorn farts and candy corn dreams.
It's probably an electric.
You're gonna find out for sure if he's in here now.
Oh yeah, man. What's Frankie doing?
She's sleeping since she got home from school.
Wow, today wiped her out.
I told her, and she's like, "I'll be fine." And I was like, "You're gonna pass out when you get home." And then, sure enough, I went in to go tell her.
Weren't we supposed to do a mail call?
Yeah, I can't do it. She's not awake.
She's not awake.
She passed out.
So we're gonna have to keep her home from youth next week so we can do a mail call.
Well, I can film it and do it.
Yeah, we're
gonna
have to do it film it. Yeah, do it on a different. Belfast, Northern Ireland, on holiday.
I live 3 hours north of David. Oh, that's a long drive for us.
Yeah, man, you're on a Missouri line.
Yeah.
3 hours north. That's pretty far up there. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Part way.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I have to meet you part way. That's like
we'll have to see. I mean, if we were getting 6 or 8 of them, and it was going to be, we can have a conversation.
I'll get with you, Don. I don't know why I didn't know you had that specific breed of sheep, but I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know where Greg Judy is. I think Greg Judy's in Missouri.
I don't know.
Somebody in here Google Greg Judy. Tell me where his farm is. Because that's another option, honestly, is going right to the source of the whole regenerative farming world that I've been studying. His sheep are already, raised that way.
Cuddly says, just tell Tim they are long lost sheep and he will bring them to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. What? Eclectic and full of Bud Light. One in the back.
I think he meant electric.
Oh, gotcha.
Bud Light cans in the back.
Gotcha. Oh, the truck. Yeah.
He was just typing fast.
Got you. Well, and I'm squinting because this is too far away for me to read, and I'm bringing my glasses over here, so I'm really working.
An hour past the fishing spot we went to. Yeah. That's pretty far. I want to say that's about. That's going to be about 7 hours.
Dawn and Big D aren't too far from White Rock. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, that tracks.
But if it makes sense, it makes sense. I mean, so that doesn't mean that, because I've been having a hard time finding them.
10-minute warning.
And
there is a place that's over here. We just can't get a hold of the people. But yeah. Because they're only like 40 minutes.
And I don't even know how many they have.
Or if they have any available.
Or if
they sell any.
Yeah, they
may just have a random field of sheep. I don't know.
Yeah, we've driven by and seen them.
Yeah. And I don't even know, we saw them, but I don't know where the confirmation came from that they were Katahdin. Was that from you or from Eric?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It wouldn't have been from me.
They could just be sheep on the horizon and somebody said they were Katahdin and we weren't cool. I don't know.
And I don't even know, to be honest with you, if I'm 100% married to our entire flock being Katahdin.
Well, we can talk about that later. I know there's a lot of Katahdin Dorper crosses that are popular.
And there's another one.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it right now, but I know what you're talking about.
It reminds me of, what was the name of the specific name of the specific breed of quail that we raised?
Coturnix.
So there's a hair sheep that's name reminds me of that.
Okay.
I don't remember why.
I don't know.
But anyway, I watch the stock auctions every week on USDA.gov.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, you've got something in that package for Frankie too, but you have to wait till she can open it.
Oh, cool. And they don't separate hair sheep out in the stock auctions. Like you don't get more for one hair sheep over another. It's just they're classified as hair sheep. So I don't know. Like I said, we're just getting into this, So
yeah. Hey Brian, what's going on in your farmhouse? What's happening? Just trying to do my job. Good job. You're hired, Big Country. Sandy Brock, lambing is quite fascinating. Oh yeah. Watching goats kid. I can't wait to go out and like peek around and like what, like, because you're not, you don't mess with them, right? You don't go in there and try to help or do anything because you don't need to unless there's like something catastrophic happening. But although the first lambing season, I will have to probably be a little bit more vigilant because the dogs have never seen that before.
Right.
So I will need to make sure that they're not like, oh, attack, So I will have to be out there. Oh,
this looks yummy.
Yeah, I will have to be more vigilant with the dogs because this will be their first lambing season when that comes about. But in general, the idea is that they're doing their thing and you don't involve yourself as much as possible,
Right.
And when Caroline kidded, I was hands off. I was watching the whole time and I filmed it, but I wasn't like yanking babies out of her or anything or poking anything back in.
I need to know I need to know that mother can handle it, because the idea is to grow this flock to a large profitable flock, and I only want animals in my flock that are going to make me money.
Money. That's why he keeps me around.
I don't want animals that you got to help them every time they kid and they get sick every season and you got to give them antibiotics and you got to nope, those animals are gone.
Gold star for me. Yes, that's right. You do make seed bead jewelry. I know, you keep saying that. You're gonna have to like I don't know, send me if you have like a, what do you call it, a website or pictures or something on your a link to something so I could like look at it.
I heard about them, David. DD5's baby goats.
Yeah, I saw them.
I didn't see them.
I saw them on Facebook. I was like, what's this? This is Facebook. Scrolling. That's what that is. That's right. He keeps you around for dipping in his pockets. No. I made him soup tonight.
It's pretty good too.
Yeah, it wasn't my best, but it was thrown together very quickly.
Well, okay. Yeah, but it wasn't.
Actually, it wasn't.
There was no expectation that it was going to be your best.
It took days to make, to be honest.
Yeah, we had some.
I made the stock over a couple of days.
A can of stock that didn't seal when I pressure canned it. Every now and then you have one that doesn't, so you stick it in the fridge and you're like, I'm going to use that in the next week or two, right? Same thing. I had one jar of turkey.
MT Homestead, what's going on?
Oh yeah, what's up? Lurking while getting ready for our live.
That's right.
Right on.
Lurky.
That's awesome. Big Mike, I'm going a week from Saturday. I will take the next step in the quest for light.
Is that the one? Do we come to that? We don't come to that. What's the thing? Isn't there something we come to?
Yeah, we had a We had a thing, a potluck that
Oh, but
all
you
the
didn't.
families could go to,
But
but
you
we
didn't.
didn't go.
You didn't invite us.
I told you about it.
You did.
Yeah.
Was that the thing that I thought I was gonna make potatoes for? Or something?
Yeah, and then we never went.
I don't know.
I forget why. Something came up.
I don't know.
But
You told-
no,
yeah.
I'm getting my master mason a week from Saturday, and apparently it's like a 4-hour ritual.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's a big deal. So
Like in the morning or in the nighttime?
it's going to start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll be home about 9.
Frankie and I are gonna watch so many bad movies while you're gone. All the girls in basements.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie was teasing. For those of you who don't know, Frankie and I love to watch any awful Lifetime movie about girls being held captive in basements or kidnapped in trunks of cars. Like that's one of our favorite things. We have watched just about every single one of them as they come out. And she was locked in her room these last couple days because she had the plague. And so she was like, you have to let me out. I'm like, I'm not letting you out. Like, you cannot come out into the living room. You cannot come out into the kitchen. I will bring you whatever you need. Like, you stay in that bed. And I was like, you're going to be starring in your very own Lifetime original movie about like a girl in a basement.
Cuddly Texan, that'd be cool, man. You are more than welcome. It's a bit of a drive for you out here, but you'd be more than welcome to be there. Let's see, Big Country. Who are you trying to send your number to? You trying to send your number to us?
Oh, you can just email me, Big Country. Just email 3mississippifarms@gmail.com. Like whatever the link is for wherever, pictures of your seed beads or whatever, just so I can see what it looks like.
Yeah, or yeah.
Mike, kidnap, tie up, and hold hostage Sid. That's right, Dana. Blink twice if you need help.
And let me tell you something really that I think is really cool. My oldest friend, not in his age, but that I have known the longest, guy named Shane. He and we've been friends since I was younger than Frankie. We went to school together in Tennessee, and then we parted ways, and I went off to the military, and he stayed, and then he eventually joined the Army. We did see each other one time in like 1994 or 1995 briefly. I visited Tennessee and saw him for a couple hours. But we lost track of each other, and through Facebook found each other a couple of years ago, and we've kept in touch slightly. Right. But he's one of those guys that, like a couple times a year, it's like, hey brother, how you been? Anyway, he and I were having one of those moments a few weeks ago, and realized that he is also has joined the Masonic Lodge and is working on his his Masonic rights. And
hey Tim, your ears must have been burning. We were talking about you earlier.
Oh, right on. But anyway, I mean, it's kind of cool that he's also going down the path. I'm farther along than him. He's still an entered apprentice, and I'm getting my master mason, next week. So I was thinking it'd be kind of cool.
Focus on him, but it's not working.
It'd be kind of cool if I was able to go up to Tennessee when he gets his master mason and be there for that. I don't know. We'll see. It'd be kind of cool. Mike got on at 22. Oh,
they keep
Paul's
a running
telling
tab.
Tim when I got.
Yeah, they keep a running tab sometimes on when he shows up or if he shows up.
Yeah, what's going on, Tim? Man, I haven't talked to you in a minute. Maybe I need to give you a call tomorrow and catch up.
Yeah.
How's retired life treating you anyway? Maybe that's a conversation for a phone call.
Yeah, probably.
I'll call you tomorrow.
He's having his big retirement party at David's on Saturday.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I know. 1 minute warning. Guys, let's see. We got DD5 coming up next, of course. And then after them, you've got the wonderful Mike and Terry at MT Homestead. And then, what did I say? Where did I leave off? 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock is the Vineyard Farmhouse Brian. And then you have Old Man King Homestead at 10. Did I get it all? Yes, I did.
Whole bunch of
them. So, guys, go show DD5 some love. They're up next. We love you guys. We appreciate you. I'm not having a stroke. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. As always, stay blessed.
Safety's off.
There you go. Hot mic, hot mic.
1776.
Hot mic, hot mic.
Except for Tim's. Tim's safety better be on.